Hey guys, before we get into this video, I'm going to ask that you politely search my channel and go ahead and click the subscribe button. It is my goal to obtain at least 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year 2024. I know we can do it and I appreciate your support. Now let's get into it. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be talking about what you can expect at chapter events. And this is a pretty broad question that I received not too long ago, but I figured it'd be good to talk about just to help you guys out. It's not anything that's super, informative or anything like that, but I understand when people are preparing to go somewhere and they're kind of walking into something that they don't really know what to expect. I personally hate that myself, so let's talk about it. If you want to know more, keep watching this video. So one of the things that you can expect, and I'm trying to use a recent scenario. So my sorority recently did a parade. Well, it probably won't be recent by the time you guys watch this video, but my sorority has done things, or really my chapter has done things like parades and community service events and just social events and just being out in the community. So one of the things I could say is it really depends on what the vibe is, for lack of a better word. So if it's more of a formal setting, then that's going to be a different vibe from a more social setting like a party. Or if it's a community service event, you can expect it to be more casual and lighthearted than something more serious like, I don't know, a social action event. So it kind of just depends on what the event is. But typically, and I can only speak from my experience as far as being in my chapter and what I've done recently, you can typically see the dynamics of the sisterhood depending on who the organization is or who really the people are. I always tell people to attend as many events as possible because it does give you a kind of window as to looking into the chapter as far as how do they interact with each other, how organized versus unorganized they are, what are some of the niche specific things that you see that they're missing that you yourself could benefit from telling them that you're good at as far as your interviews. So you can typically see those types of things when you're participating with the organization. And again, it really depends on what you want to do. So I'll use a community service event as an example. So say you're going to a community service event and you don't know what to expect. You can expect for them to put you to work for certain. Anytime you attend an event, it is important to participate if participation is required. Don't be shy. Don't be a standoff person. Take the time to be personable as well as having conversations with people because, like I said, meeting with them is a great opportunity for you to get to know how they interact with each other, but also how they interact with you. How are they treating you? Are they being super formal and kind of standoffish, kind of snobbish, or are they being super personable and laughing and joking around with you and being very lighthearted? So those are things that you're going to want to pay attention to and make note of because it will also tell you if they're being authentic or if they're being fake, in all honesty. So paying attention to those things and being aware of that. Now, it's also good to expect for them to want to get to know you. They're going to ask you for your name, most likely. What do you do? Where are you from? What area do you live in? You know, the typical chit-chatty type things. So expect them to ask you somewhat personal questions, not personal to the extent of super personal. They're not going to ask you about your home life or are you married, not married. I mean, some people might, but it really depends on the person. But expect them to ask you questions for them to get to know you a little bit better. So be prepared to be asked personal questions and be prepared to have an answer. And I'm not saying you have to sit there and rehearse your answers, but just be mindful that it is an opportunity for them to fellowship and meet people, so they're going to want to get to know you. And it's best to, like I said, attend as many events as possible and be visible and be noticed because there may be a time where you've attended so many events where you're like, you know what, Kelsey has attended a lot of events, but I don't really know that much about her. I'm going to ask her out to coffee and just get to know her a little bit better. Or I met Kelsey the other day. She seems cool. I'm going to give her my number. And then that gives you the opportunity to be like, hey, We've seen each other a couple of times at these events. I want to know if it's okay if we could grab a cup of coffee and talk one day. So attending these events and doing these things can help you with that. What are some other things as far as expectations? Expect to be there for as long as possible, depending on what the event is. Like recently, my organization did a volunteer service thing where we had to be there for literally 12 hours. I'm not even kidding. We were there for 12 hours. And if you volunteer for something like that, the expectation is for you to be there for the duration that the chapter is there. If you can't, or if there are some scheduling conflicts where you have to leave early, make sure you communicate that well in advance so that they are aware. But the expectation is to typically be there the whole time. So make sure that you are there and make sure that you're visible. What else? Let's see. Other expectations. I think those are the main ones that I can think of as far as something casual and lighthearted. If it's something a little more formal, if someone wants to give me an example in the comments of something more formal so that you can know what the expectations are, put them in the comment box below and I'm happy to answer it. But in the meantime, hope this video was helpful. Give me a thumbs up. Sorry, it was super casual. I was like leaning back and everything. But if you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up, share it, subscribe if you're not subscribed. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. So make sure you are helping, doing the work. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.